Today we journey to Nazareth, a small village in the hills of Galilee, where a young boy named Jesus lives with rich brown skin, dark curly hair, and deep brown eyes that are wide and curious. He notices the shimmer of the Sea of Galilee, the slopes of hills, patterns of clouds, and the movements of leaves. His family works and laughs around him. His mother Mary, with warm brown skin and dark eyes, teaches him kindness, prayer, and care. His father Joseph, strong and patient, teaches carpentry and how to work with his hands. His older brothers James, Joseph, Simon, and Judas, tall with curly dark hair, climb trees, herd goats, and help in the workshop. His sisters Martha and Ruth, lively and bright with braids or loose curls, fetch water, play games, and study the scrolls in the synagogue. The synagogue is filled with sacred texts in Hebrew and Aramaic, telling stories of prophets like Moses and Isaiah, of courage, mercy, and justice. Jesus listens, absorbing each lesson, asking why the olive trees grow twisted, why bees gather nectar from thyme, and why jars of stone keep water cool and clean. He climbs hills barefoot, feeling the warm stone under his feet, helping neighbors repair roofs, carry baskets of figs, his hands roughened by work, eyes alert to the world around him. He observes the changing seasons, the bloom of wildflowers, the movement of birds, the glint of fish in streams, the cycles of sun and rain, noticing how people, animals, plants, stone, and sky are connected, and learning that small acts of care can grow into something powerful. He plays with friends whose skin shades range from chocolate to honey, hair braided or free and curly, laughing as they chase chickens and skip stones in riverbeds. He listens to elders talking about fairness, courage, and compassion, remembering their lessons and thinking how he can act with care. He walks past workshops where stone vessels sit polished, proof of skill and patience. The village hums with families working, trading, learning, and worshipping together. Jesus learns the rhythm of daily life, carrying water, comforting a sibling, helping a friend, noticing gestures and expressions, understanding that small acts of love shape the whole community. He studies plants and insects, counting petals, watching bees collect nectar, observing how the hills change colors from dawn to sunset, listening to birds and insects forming a symphony of life. He notices villagers with skin ranging from deep chocolate to olive, hair thick, dark and curly, clothing simple linen tunics or wool cloaks, belts wrapped around waists, hands busy with work or gesturing as they speak. Roman patrols pass sometimes, a reminder of rulers, yet the people live with courage, care, and faith. At night, Jesus climbs rooftops with his siblings, listening to crickets and the wind, gazing at stars, reflecting on harmony, the cycles of life, and how courage, compassion, and curiosity are seeds growing inside every heart. He dreams of sharing this spark beyond Nazareth, teaching kindness, justice, and understanding, showing that these are stronger than fear or anger. He observes neighbors, the mother folding cloth, the father smoothing wood, a child offering a smile or a helping hand, learning humility, service, and love. He notices how small hands can mend a roof, lift a basket, carry water, and how small words can lift spirits. Observing is learning, caring is teaching, love is power. He remembers prophets, Moses leading people, Isaiah dreaming of peace, seeing these lessons alive in everyday actions. He notices the light in the faces of his siblings, friends and neighbors, the warmth of gestures, the joy of laughter, comfort in shared bread, trust in hands held, helping someone rise. He invites other children to walk hills with him, count petals, imagine bees, notice clouds, feel the warmth of stones beneath feet, and learn that small acts of care grow kindness and courage. Jesus begins to feel a spark of purpose growing each day through observation, reflection, action, and care. Nazareth is not just stone and dust, but a cradle of learning, wonder, courage, and kindness. He is part of it. Even a small boy with dark curls, rich brown skin, and deep brown eyes can carry light beyond hills, shaping hearts with acts of compassion, seeing the beauty and imperfection in the world, realizing each day to notice, care, help, and shine. And so the boy Jesus grows, learning from the land, people, sky, and water, absorbing lessons of love, fairness, and courage from every moment, preparing his heart, hands, mind, and spirit to one day teach, heal, and inspire others to find the same spark within themselves. This is only the beginning of his journey. As Jesus grows into a young man, his rich brown skin glows in the sun. Dark curls bounce as he walks the hills and towns of Galilee, and his deep brown eyes notice everything around him. He wears simple linen tunics tied with a belt and sandals worn smooth from work and travel. He helps his father Joseph in carpentry, learning to measure wood, shape beams, and craft doors and tables, understanding that precision, patience, and care are powerful lessons. He visits nearby villages like Capernaum, Bethsaida, and Chorazin, walking on stone-paved roads and dusty paths, observing the layout of homes with flat roofs, courtyards, and clay water jars. In marketplaces, he sees merchants weighing olives on balanced scales, counting Roman coins stamped with emperors' faces, trading wheat, dried fish, figs, and dates, learning math, measurement, and fairness in commerce. He notices how families cook with clay ovens, press olive oil with stone mills, and store water in jars to stay clean and cool. Children play nearby, skipping stones along streams, climbing olive trees, or carrying small baskets of figs. He talks with fishers at the Sea of Galilee, observing nets, knots, and tides, understanding work, patience, and trust in nature. He studies scrolls in synagogues, learning to read Hebrew and Aramaic, listening to elders debate law and tradition, connecting teachings of Moses, Isaiah, and other prophets to everyday life. He walks with travelers from towns near and far, hearing stories of distant lands, mountains, and rivers, learning about geography, culture, and diversity. Roman soldiers march through some towns, collecting taxes, but villagers continue their work, teaching Jesus resilience, courage, and how communities adapt. He notices the natural world, olive groves, vineyards, wildflowers, birds, and insects, understanding patterns, seasons, and cycles of life. He helps neighbors carry water, mend roofs, and care for the sick or widows, seeing that acts of kindness build trust and strengthen communities. He tells stories and parables using objects from daily life: seeds, jars, fishing nets, vineyards, shepherds, and small animals, showing lessons of fairness, courage, compassion, and responsibility. He talks with children, counting olives, identifying plants, observing bees, and noticing the colors of hills changing with sun and season. He sees how small choices, sharing bread, lifting a basket, helping a sibling, create ripples in people's hearts. He notices diversity. Villagers' skin ranging from chocolate to honey, hair thick, curly, braided, or tied back, clothing simple but practical, hands skilled in crafts, gestures expressing kindness, concern, or teaching. He reflects on how communities survive and thrive under Roman rule while preserving culture, traditions, and faith. He observes festivals, meals, and offerings, understanding human joy, sorrow, and the importance of generosity. He travels barefoot over hills, across fields, through marketplaces, connecting each observation to lessons about love, justice, patience, and courage. Children can imagine walking beside him, counting petals, observing birds, helping carry water, noticing how every small act matters. He learns that true greatness is not in wealth or power, but in seeing needs, acting with care, and teaching others to find their own spark of light. Every story he tells, every teaching he shares, every compassionate act prepares him to one day heal, guide, and inspire, showing that curiosity, courage, and kindness grow in every heart. Adult Jesus moves through Galilee not just as a teacher, but as an observer, learner, and servant, noticing everything from the glint of fish in streams to the texture of clay jars, understanding that knowledge, empathy, and action are inseparable. And so Jesus walks, teaches, and observes, gathering lessons from land, people, sky, and water, shaping himself and inspiring those around him, readying for the journey that will reach far beyond the hills of Galilee. As Jesus walks through the towns of Judea, his rich brown skin shining under the sun and dark curls bouncing, he notices the dusty streets, the stone houses with courtyards, and the pilgrims traveling to Jerusalem for festivals. He observes Roman roads lined with merchants, soldiers, and travelers, noticing the coins they carry, the orders they follow, and the rules they live under. At the temple, he sees priests preparing offerings, children learning scrolls, and elders debating law, understanding the balance of ritual, faith, and everyday life. He travels to towns like Bethany, Jericho, and near the Jordan River, teaching and healing those society often ignored. Widows, travelers, lepers, and children. He talks with them about fairness, compassion, and courage, using parables tied to things kids see daily. Water jars, fields, animals, seeds, and bread. Some leaders, worried about his growing influence, challenge his words and actions, creating tension. Yet he speaks with calm wisdom. One day, he is arrested by Roman soldiers, taken along the Via Dolorosa, barefoot on stones worn by centuries of travel, carrying a wooden cross. People weep and others offer comfort. Along the way, he forgives those who hurt him, showing that courage and love can overcome fear and anger. At Golgotha, he is crucified, a punishment used by Romans for rebels. But even in pain, he teaches mercy, encouraging those around him to act with care. His body is placed in a tomb carved from rock, surrounded by olive groves, and watched by friends and family, including Mary, Joseph, and his siblings. 3 days later, the tomb is empty. Jesus appears to followers in Galilee and Jerusalem, showing that love, hope, and courage outlast fear and death. He walks with them, speaks with them, and teaches lessons they can carry home. Help neighbors, care for animals, share food, notice patterns in nature, and act with courage and kindness. Children can imagine walking beside him along Jerusalem streets, counting steps, observing birds and flowers, helping a friend, or noticing the kindness in others. He shows that true strength comes not from power or wealth, but from understanding, service, empathy, and courage. His resurrection teaches that even when things seem impossible or unfair, love and forgiveness can create change. He encourages followers to spread these lessons, noticing patterns in the world, caring for neighbors, and finding light within themselves. Pilgrims travelling home, children playing, and families working all carry pieces of his teachings, learning that small acts, lifting a basket, sharing bread, helping a sibling, matter. His brown skin, dark curls, and alert dark eyes are a reminder of his heritage and the people he comes from. He shows that greatness is measured by heart, courage, empathy, and the willingness to notice and act. From Jerusalem to the Jordan River, hills, marketplaces, and homes, Jesus' life demonstrates how observation, reflection, and care shape communities, inspire courage, and teach compassion. Children learn that just like Jesus, they can find light within themselves, help others, and act with bravery, kindness, and curiosity every day. His death and resurrection leave a legacy of hope, courage, and love, teaching that even the smallest actions of care ripple through the world, connecting people, nature, and hearts in lasting ways. And so, Jesus' journey continues beyond the tomb, showing that each child, each friend, each neighbor can carry lessons of mercy, justice, and courage, noticing the world with care and shining light through action and love.